kept asking myself that on the bench. You know, there were a lot of good things. No, there were some good things, and there were some, things that really bothered me. Give them a lot of credit. They came in and shot the daylights out of it early, and I didn't think we guarded very well, but I thought they made some shots too that we didn't expect. The turnovers were a joke. I mean, theirs were worse. Rick's not real happy either. But our turnovers led to some touchdowns that they got early, and then that was a depressing moment when you get down, was it 17-1 or something? 18-1. Not that you're counting. 18-1. That's I guess my team deserves some credit for coming back from that. I thought, as well as Tyson played, Malik Hall did the things, he missed a few layups, and he did the things, though, that I needed to be done from him. Gets a double-double, gets 14 and 11, gets to the free throw line. I thought he played pretty well. And Tyson, it's like we have to do a better job of getting him involved earlier, because we had some guys that just didn't over-dribble, over-handle it early, and ball movement wasn't as good, and that's because they're really good defensively, and they're big. They're big. I mean, those guys were 6'5", 6'6". They had some big guards, and that hurt us a little bit. Freshmen, I think Jeremy's gonna, be fine, but when you take it in there on those big guys, it's hard to get it up. I thought Trey Holloman played really well early, got us back in the game a little bit. Cohen played pretty well, and Xavier, did okay. We didn't get him as much time for a couple of reasons, but if there was a disappointment, it was our wings, our guards got to get more rebounds. Jaden didn't have a rebound. And our bigs had been playing really well in practice in there and didn't play very well. So with that said, you lose by one, and a game that I think was a hell of a game for the people, and most important, and that's why we did it. I hope it does bring light on the people from Maui. There's so many things when something happens there, then all of a sudden something happens, in Russia, and then something happens in Israel, and it seems like it gets by the wayside a little bit. And Maui, I've been there. Next year will be my 5th time. I think Rick this year is going to be his 4th time. So it meant a lot to both of us, because when you go there, you get treated so well. And I thought our people here did a great job. It was a phenomenal crowd. It's not easy during football to have a crowd like that. And so I give a lot to our fans, our students, our marketing, our tickets, to everybody. They did a great job. So questions, I'll take them.
I know that we kind of saw the full court defense a little bit more in Hillsdale, and you saw it a lot here tonight. I guess for an opponent like this, I know they're without their top 2 guards, but how much does that help integrate something like that into your program? It's a little bit different.
Well, I was pleased with that. What I didn't get to do is rotate guys enough. I probably should, if I had to do it over again, I'd get Trey and Jeremy a few more minutes in there. A little cleaner rotation, but they played 11, 12 minutes. That's more than a lot of freshmen do. And even both played 8 or 9 minutes. So just getting that rotation down will be very important. But there was a reason they turned it over too. Our defense was pretty good in the full court. In the half court, we weren't very good, and that's what we got to continue to work on.
Tom, you reflect on kind of a win-win-win deal. Both teams get to experience a March Lake game in October and raising funds and awareness.
Yeah, that's, I think, the best part of the game, and that's what Rick and I talked about before the game, during the game a few times, and after the game. It was cool. I mean, we both, we went Hawaiian, we had our Maui shirts on. It was just it was the right thing to do, and it was the right opportunity the NCAA gave us to do something like that. And I don't know how much money that'll end up raising, but a lot more than it would have if that was an empty place. And as far as for us, the crowd was phenomenal. I think it really helped us get back in the game. They should feel good about that. That Tennessee should feel good that they were able to handle a crowd like that and keep making plays. Every time we cut it to 6 or 4, they made a play. And I told Rick that was my most impressive thing with them. Those two guys, the new guys he got, really played well, Gainey and Connect. And they really played well, and that was the difference in the game.
Tom, since you first sat with us at the beginning of the season, I've been calling this your master class on leadership, and one of the elements you emphasize is communication. One, can you evaluate the communication, and why is communication so difficult at this time?
I think you evaluated it yourself. You know, we had some slip-ups where we had switches and guys were wide open in the basket. And some of it's playing different lineups, some of them is the way they ran things, and some of it was just mistakes. I mean, they knew it right away when they did it. They knew it. We need more practice on that. That's why this game was so important. I mean, when you think about, was it a good thing or a bad thing? It was such a good thing to play this game. You know, you never feel good when you don't win, but it was good in a lot of reasons and ways, not only for us and for Rick, but of course for Maui. And even for our fans. I think it was awesome for our fans. You get to see a top 5, 10 team come in here, and that team is picked to win the SEC, and you can all see why. I mean, they're going to be good, and they've got depth too, but their young guys struggled too, just like, you know, maybe a couple of ours did. But yeah, I think all in all, the communication. Why is it hard? Because the damn NCAA and Nike won't let us put these on their belt buckles. You know, guys don't know how to talk. They got to text. They got to send an email. Those don't work with uniforms. So we're trying to constantly, you know, get our guys to communicate more. And we've done a little better job, but today there were some times, that's where Monty and Coop usually are good at calling out those screens, and we just didn't do it. But, you know, now we got a week to get better.
Thank you.
Other than the microphones and the wild shirts, did that feel like an exhibition game, or did that feel like March a little bit?
Oh, that felt like March. Are you kidding me? I asked Rick, are we stupid or what? You know, we don't need this in October. A couple of people sitting next to me, I said, damn, I got 5 more months of this. But that's a good thing, you know. It really is. It's a good thing, and it was really good for our players. And in some ways, you know, my philosophy around here, it's good to get punched in the mouth, because I thought we did early. I thought we got punched right in the mouth. And I did think we'd come back. I mean, Tyson getting that rebound late, the smallest guy on the floor, I think tells you a little bit about him. We just got to get more out of a couple of guys that I think have it to give. And those freshmen, Jeremy and Trey Holloman and Cohen, we'll get Booker going here. We're going to get better. So I still like everything about my team. I was a little disappointed that a couple guys defensively didn't play as good as I thought they would.
I know they had a lot of shots, but was it okay to get your butts kicked in the first 10 minutes, or for some of your...
Oh yeah, you know what, Fred, I was sitting there and I looked up and it was 17-1, and I said, God, this is fun. Hell no, it wasn't okay to get my butt kicked.
For some of your young players to
Jeez.
realize what that level is like.
I'm kidding you. I can have fun today because we did something for Maui. I played against a good friend of mine, and I do think that's a good point. You know, we had a couple of recruits in the thing, and I said, you skinny guys better get a lot tougher, because there's no question that that would be one of the more physical, athletic teams. There's physical teams, and then there's athletic teams. And when you get physicality and athleticism and some size, that's what makes them a pretty good team. Now, they had some problems too, getting the ball up the floor, and they're going to have some decisions to make on those big guys. The bigger guards they can defend better, but they can't run the ball like those smaller guards. The smaller guards don't shoot it as well. I mean, the guys that he's out, and he's got one guard that's really good, but they ain't gonna play better than those two guys play. I mean, he told me after that was the best and hardest connecting and played. So, connect. So that means that's good for them too, you know. So I just thought all in all, it was a great game. It's sad to end it that way. Was it a foul or not a foul? He asked me a good question. He said, well, if it was the other way, would you want it called? I said, hell no. I'd like to win the game on the floor, not on the free throw line. Now, if it was during the regular season, hell yes. But, you know, it was a bang bang. I mean, it could have gone either way. I mean, as they all said to me, officials that was as high a caliber game as they'll do probably in the next 2 months. And that was one of the higher caliber games we'll play in. I don't care if it's Duke or anybody else. I mean, the advantage of playing in a game like this as an exhibition game is you don't care about fouls as much and things like that. That was a tough game to play. And it was a tough game to officiate. And I learned a little lesson there too. I had a couple guys that are chirping at the officials. That'll be ended tonight. Because that's one thing that's not going to be tolerated. Hell, the only fun I have is get to yell at him. If I got a player yelling at him, then he takes away my fun.
Coach, it goes without saying that Tyson Walker had a great game on the offensive side of the floor, but he also had 5 steals today. How encouraged are you about his defensive growth?
You know, I mean, I think nobody would argue that he's the best player on the floor, you know, for us. Because he can do it all ways, and we probably played him too many minutes, you know, to be honest with you. But hope to get that down a little bit. But as you can tell, he's probably the best conditioned guy on the team. I love the way he played. I love the way he was. One time he got a little ollie with the official, and that in the huddles, he was phenomenal. He's grown a lot, and he's a good player, and we have to get him more involved early. That wasn't him, that's us. So some of that falls on the coaches too.
Coach, you just alluded to it a little bit a second ago. Some of the run-ins that your players had with the refs today showed the intensity of the game and the emotional connection they had to it. But I also saw you doing a lot of correcting with the players on the sideline. How does a game like this, albeit an exhibition, prep you guys emotionally for the season?
Well, it gave us a chance to run something at the end that we didn't execute quite right. It gave us a chance. You know, one time we looked at a 2-for-1 early. I mean, it really, I'm sure for Rick too, I mean, it really was a game that I can't believe was 89-88 with 37 turnovers. I mean, that's hard to do. So maybe there's a positive in there. And after we were down 17, when did we have one? How many minutes were left in the half?
4-0. You're down 1 with 4 minutes left.
No.
When you got the 1 point.
Yeah. Was that the first 5 minutes, 6 minutes?
5 minutes, yeah.
So
It was 9-0 out of the gate.
Yeah, and then 17-1 or something. So we probably went and scored 87 points in 34 or 5 minutes. That's pretty good on a positive end against a team that's good defensively. And they probably felt the same thing because I think he thinks we're pretty good defensively. So our defenses didn't show up. We turned the ball over too much, both of us. He shot the ball better. He had a couple guys that really shot it well, 6 for 10 and 8 for 16. That's 2 pretty good nights. But even though Malik was 3 for 9, I'd have to give Tyson the start of the game, but I put Malik right there because he did everything I need him to do for us to be successful.
I know you told us the other day that there's certain benefits to doing it privately and how you can tinker and adjust things, but having gone through this now, I'm just wondering if you think the benefits of something like this outweighs that, and would you like to see these type of things continue? Could they move forward and be more of a regular thing?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, especially, I did it a couple times with Gonzaga. When you have friends that you have that you can play against, and now tomorrow or even tonight, Rick and I will talk about how much he's met at his team and I met at mine. But you get a lot done, you get a lot to talk about, and when you can attach it to a fundraising deal. It's pretty cool. And when I say fundraising, I mean a charity. That's pretty neat. You know, whether it be that, or I could see whether it be for the Boys and Girls Club or something to help people. You know, we're near Thanksgiving. You know, feed people, the homeless. You know, could we do something with this to help now? You know, you look at it, the university's going to lose money, but if we did it for nothing, the university wouldn't have gotten it anyway if we played it and there was no crowds. So I want to thank all the people that came and spent their money on this. I think you got your money's worth as far as a game. I think the wrong team won if you're a Spartan fan, but it was a hell of a game. And I kept saying on the bench, I said, man, this is a high intensity game, and that was early, you know. So we got a lot of work to do, but this will give us something to check our warts and figure out we're going to get those wings rebounding a little better. We're going to take the ball better, and we'll get better.
In terms of the teaching value, though, to have the environment, like if you were to go down there with their, you know, versus a close,
Oh yeah, I'd go
would you
down
prefer?
there. Oh, I'd go down there too. I mean, I prefer playing. That's why we play one of the games in front of people. If you do the Division II, you can play in front of them. And I do that so our freshmen, our new people can get out in front of a crowd for the first time. Because we had a decent crowd the other night. This was a great crowd, and I think we saw some guys with the old deer in the headlights look, you know. So yeah, I think it's a good deal. I think it's a good thing. I think it's really a good thing for Mom.
One final one. Mike?
Yeah, Tom, you referenced Tennessee as a top 5 team earlier this week. What did they do tonight that validated that? And I guess specifically with the 2 new transfers, what did you think of them tonight?
Well, you know, Rick and I have been friends since he was at Texas, and we've always